why don't you just leave? You know, I never understood it.
When someone comes along and he plays like that Prince Charming, you think that that is love.
I didn't realize how bad it was.
And the fact that you got out of that alive. I mean, wow.
I think you have to have the courage to seek help. And that's the most shameful part, because you're just so embarrassed, because you're like, what is everyone going to think of me for allowing this to happen for so long?
And then you get hit with cancer. What happened there?
And I beat it. And it took a couple years. I wasn't supposed to ever have a child. And now I have an almost 2-year-old boy, and that was a miracle. They're like, you're playing with fire. They kept telling me that, you're playing with fire.
Welcome back to Pain to Power. Today's guest is so incredible. You may have seen her on social media having over 12 million followers, the most impersonated profile on Instagram. She has faced numerous challenges from childhood to recent years, such as suicide, body dysmorphia, even a decision that brought her to a near-death experience. Yet she has emerged resilient and strong, overcoming domestic violence and stage 3 cervical cancer. Becoming a mother has shaped her journey towards self-discovery and healing. Now she is dedicated to empowering others to find inner peace. Drawing from her own experiences, she guides individuals through their struggles, leveraging her social media presence for advocacy and positive change. Her commitment to using her voice for the betterment of others showcases her unwavering determination and compassion, and one of the sweetest pure souls I personally have ever met. Please welcome Miss Jessica Weaver.
That was the best intro.
Thank you.
My goodness.
So did I hear you say that I am the first woman podcaster that you've really? You've been on all guy podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. I guess.
I mean, I'm just starting off, but there's a lot more men, I feel like, these days doing the podcast. So I'm glad to be here. It'll be fun.
No, I'm so glad that you're here. And this is one of many, many, many. When did you start kind of coming, and we'll get into her story, you guys, but when did you start kind of coming out with your story?
I started making changes back in, like, real changes, but probably in November. But I really didn't.
It's not that long ago.
But I didn't really tell, like, all of my truth until Eric's podcast.
No.
Yeah, that was the
so
first
I'm basically
one.
The second.
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I just and he's the one that referred me to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm looking for people like this. Who do you think? And immediately he's like, Jessica. I was like, okay, let's go. And then I started listening to his episode, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Your
story is the world needs to hear it. And the crazy part is not enough people are talking about it, and it's common. That is insane. So let's start with where you're from, where you grew up. And I know that you're not from here, but you came to Hollywood, right? For the American dream. Let's start there, because I really want people to know your background and where you came from.
Well, I was born in LA.
Oh, you were?
But I moved away when I was like 6. So.
Okay. Got it.
So in my head, I always wanted to come back and live the California life. I think at a young age, I wanted to be a model. Just, I don't know why.
Well, I think we all at one point wanted to
be a model or something.
Yeah.
So I moved to California straight out of high school, packed up the car, and was like, I'm out of here. I grew up in a small town in Colorado, so I was just like done with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the small town life. I love hearing those stories. People that are from a small town and they go into the big city and become something so big. And it's, anyways, those are my favorite stories. So what, I don't even know where to start. There's so much to unpack here.
I know there's a lot.
Oh my God, don't be sorry. No. So, okay. So you went to LA. I don't want to tell your story, but you started getting the feel of what Hollywood's about.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Let's delve into that. So what happened when things kind of look at you? And you're the sweetest thing in the world. You guys, if you ever get a chance to meet And say hi, talk to her. She's the sweetest thing, purest soul. And And I can't even imagine how bad you were taken advantage of in Hollywood. So
Yeah.
let's go there.
Yeah, just LA, you learn quickly people are not the same as a small town. Everyone's just trying to make money and survive, and it will get you jaded real quick. I remember someone did tell me when I first moved to LA, they're like, just don't get jaded. And I was like, what's that mean? I had no idea.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But yeah, you trust everyone coming from a small town. Like, we didn't roll up our windows in the car.
Yeah.
You know, we don't lock our doors. So when you go to LA, you just trust everyone. You know, you don't realize everyone's just very selfish. So I kept meeting the wrong people and going down the wrong path and made a lot of mistakes along the way.
So what was like your first jobs and stuff like that going into LA? Because you wanted to be a model, but then you were connected with the wrong people. What happened there?
Originally, I drove out there with only $2,000 in my bank. I thought, this is plenty, right?
Oh, welcome to LA. Welcome to California.
Yeah, I was like, this will start me just fine.
Yeah.
And, you know, after a month, I was like, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I didn't have support like financially from anyone, so it's on my own. So I did get a job at Guess, you know, the clothing store, and I realized real quick, this is not paying the bills.
Yeah.
And I was going to school for Fashion Institute downtown.
Oh, you went to FITM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So quickly, I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was struggling real quick.
Yeah.
I ended up finding a job at a hostess club. Do you know what that is? The Asian hostess clubs.
Are those the? Is it a? Is it no? It's a club, or is it like one of those coffee shops? Because I've heard about those coffee shops.
Not quite the coffee shops, but it is a cultural thing.
Is it like a
well.
nightclub? Like a nightclub?
It's kind of like not as big.
Oh, okay.
Kind of place. It's like a karaoke / places, but it's just not a place smaller. You want to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just barely 19 started working at those places. Because I saw the wrong ad in the newspaper. And
you were 19?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. When did you move back to LA?
When I was 19.
When you were 19. Got it. Okay. So it was, wow, you were young.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Gosh, I'm just thinking about my
right?
son as a 17-year-old, and I just can't imagine him. Well, it's different because he's a guy, but if I had a daughter, she would hate me because I would be so protective. But I can't imagine my 19-year-old daughter going to LA trying to figure it out. Did your parents know that you were struggling at this point?
No.
Okay.
And to a point, but part of me, they did not want me going to LA. So they grew up in LA, so they told me, you're not going. You're not going. And then they were like, you're not going to make it. I remember my dad telling me that a few times. And so I did not want to call for help when I should have. Because I was familiar. Like, oh, I'm going to make it.
Yeah. No,
know?
I know. That sounds,
kids.
Yep. I was the same way. Okay. So you got your first job there. Okay.
Yeah. And that was a horrible place because, you know, they make you line up like your meat. Basically, men come in and they pick which girl they want. And you just have to serve them drinks and sit with them and be their date for the night almost.
Oh.
And they're like older men, and they're usually like married, and it's just a toxic environment.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So that really jaded me real quick.
How long did you do that for?
A few years.
Wow, a few years. Yeah. Did you make good money?
Some nights, yeah. Some nights, no.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't worth it.
Okay.
But I did try to do modeling here and there, but a lot of it was like Craigslist back in the day because there's no social media. So
yeah,
it was just it was just really toxic lifestyle, you know, and it did a lot of damage.
Well, you were in survival mode. You were trying to do what was the best for you. And obviously having regular jobs just wasn't cutting it, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So you did that for a few years. And then what happened after that? Because I do want to get into your toxic relationships, getting being a survivor of domestic violence. So there's so much things to unpack here. So I also want to give like a timeline so people know, like, okay, so you finished, so you did that for a few years, and then what was next after that?
Well, I guess during that time frame, I ended up meeting a manager that I wanted to get modeling jobs through. He convinced me to do Penthouse, the cover of Penthouse. And
that's a magazine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course I was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But he convinced me it's going to, I'll make all this money, this and that.
Was Penthouse like bad or what
well, it's like nudes.
Oh, okay. So it's
kind of like Playboy.
Like Playboy. Okay. Like Playboy.
Penthouse, that was kind of big at the time.
Okay.
And so naive me thought, okay, I can just change my name and do the shoot and no one will find out, right?
Oh.
And it's some reason I did the cover thinking no one's going to recognize me because I'm from a small town. Like, no one's going to know it's for me, right?
Oh, wow.
And truth comes out really quickly. My whole hometown found out.
How did they find out? So was Penthouse that big?
Yeah, apparently.
Whoa. That's oh, no. And how old were you at this point? Oh, wait, you know about, of course you know about it. You know everything. Okay. How old were you at this point?
I was probably about 21, maybe. No.
Okay, so what happened after that? Your parents found out, your whole hometown.
Gonna kill me.
No.
And everyone talking about you, everyone hating you and just talking trash. And then I really felt alone at that time. Like, I already felt alone in California.
And you're still so young.
But then I really felt alone and stupid and just horrible mistake. And it still haunts me to this day. People still bring it up, still try to call me by that name I went by and all this stuff. And it still haunts me. It'll always be a mistake. But during that time, that's when I was still working at the Hostess Club. And a customer came in, and that's where I met my ex-husband. He was a customer, which is a horrible thing.
So, but that's also very common. So it's okay. Don't feel bad about it. That's just part of your story. Is this the father of your child?
No.
Okay. But this was like the first longer relationship that you were in, like more serious relationship. Okay.
Yeah. And at the time, he came in, he is an abuser, but so I think he saw like a broken little girl where he can come in and save the day. So he came in and made me feel very safe. And he quickly would start coming in every day so I didn't have to sit with no one else. And to me, I felt like protected and like, oh, this guy really cares about me. And then he didn't want me working there no more. And I was like, again, I felt protected, which I never felt before.
Yeah.
And so he slowly kind of built those things up until I did end up marrying him eventually. But he did slowly start showing his true self over the years too.
How long were you with him?
Dating / married, probably about 4 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good solid amount of time.
Yeah.
Is this the one that you survived domestic violence from?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Did anyone know what you were going through at the time?
No. And sadly, again, because I didn't have a lot of support because everyone I'm not dealing with you if you were in the porn industry kind of stuff. So I didn't have anyone. And abusers, they'll kind of make you depend on them. He started making me depend on him financially, and he would kind of slowly get rid of anyone around me if I had friends or anything. So they'll do that. They know what they're doing. Manipulators,
narcissism, gaslighting. I mean, all the above.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how were you able to get out of that toxic relationship?
It's crazy. It's hard. So hard for women to get out of those situations because they will just destroy you in like every emotional way. Like you said, all the gaslighting and everything.
Yeah.
So you just don't have the energy to even comprehend what's going on or even to think about leaving. So I definitely, even he almost has killed me a few times. He had a knife to my neck. He's tried to throw me over a second story of our house. He'd throw things at me all the time, candles that were already burning. I'd have burns, like just crazy stuff. And I still couldn't leave, which is just insane. But I always been the woman to like judge girls before that relationship. Like, why don't you just leave? I never understood it until you get into it and you realize, oh, that's why this is so hard to leave, because they just steal your self-love away. So you're just stuck.
So women struggle with that every day.
Yeah.
And especially because the way that we grow up, with the Disney movies and your Prince Charming is going to come and save you and all the things. So it's like when someone, especially in your situation, when someone comes along and he plays like that Prince Charming, you think that is love.
Yeah.
For someone that is going through feeling stuck in a toxic relationship, what would be the next steps or advice that you would give them in order to finally break free from that?
That's a good question. I think you have to have the courage to seek help. And that's the most shameful part, because you're just so embarrassed, because you're like, what is everyone going to think of me for allowing this to happen for so long? I think for me, what actually got me to leave was he had an affair, so he left me. Yeah.
Not only did he drag you through the mud,
yeah,
he ends up just leaving you. Oh my.
Yeah. But that's good, though. I'm glad he did it.
Yeah, otherwise you probably would have never left.
I wouldn't be here right now, probably.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so he ends up leaving you.
So that was a good thing. I'm glad it happened. But it was really dark time.
Yeah.
But I think when I started actually seeing the light in that darkness is, my first thing I did is I went to a domestic women's group. That's most cities have these. Like, they have support groups for women that are going through this. And I sat in a circle with like 5 other women that were around LA. And they I was last in the group to tell my story, but they went around the circle and told their stories. And then I realized their stories weren't nearly as bad as mine. And I was thinking, I didn't realize how bad it was until then. Because you're so used to it,
Right.
You get so used to those roller coaster relationships, like, you just, and I think your brain kind of like blocks it out too when horrible things happen.
Yeah. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Your memory, have memory loss.
Yeah. A lot of those years I can't remember, really.
Yeah, a lot of trauma. That's what happens. What's crazy is that, and I actually just spoke about that the other day on another episode. Your mind forgets, but your body remembers. So sometimes something will trigger you.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you can't figure out why or where it happened.
Yeah.
But when you're on that path of growth and evolving, you have the ability to be able to catch yourself and be like, wait, whoa, danger. That doesn't feel good. Right. So, as you already know, I mean, that's just, you guys, this is just one piece of her story. We have so much more to go into, but it's almost like you're thankful that you went through that, because it's like, now you know better.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you got out of that alive. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. So he has an affair, he leaves. So what's next for you after that?
Then I started going to a trauma therapist. That was amazing too. So if you ever have trauma, go to a trauma therapist, because they specialize in some crazy stuff. So that was very helpful. Then I started reaching out and kind of telling a little bit, and maybe not totally all of it, but to my parents, and some close friends and getting that support. And I moved and away and got a safe place on my own. And so things are looking positive. I started going to church for the first time, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
Got a little group going there. But still, my self-confidence was just gone after all those years of just craziness. So in my brilliant mind, I thought getting a butt implant was a great idea. And it wasn't, because I thought maybe if I get this, I'll get more modeling jobs. Because at the time, you know, big butts were like coming out as a cool thing to do.
What year was this?
2014, 15
Okay.
time frame.
Okay.
And then I think, so the butt implant didn't look right on me because I was a tiny little girl.
You're so tiny.
It didn't look right. It looked really bad.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. Don't do it. And I heard some girls talking about butt injections.
Okay.
And in my head, I was like, I asked them, who, let me know the information. I ended up getting illegal butt injections to go around the implant to make it look better,
more
to blend it in.
Blend it in. So really quick, so butt implants, are they like the implants in your boobs?
They're made out of different material. They're more hard.
Oh, they're more hard.
They're hard. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not natural feeling at all.
No.
Don't do it.
Okay. I heard Nicki Minaj once say, my butt's finally soft. And I was like, what does that mean? Is it hard at first?
It's
when you
hard.
First put,
It's
okay.
like a silicone, like hard. It's just, I don't know why anyone would do it.
Isn't that scary though? Because you're sitting on so it's like one thing if it's in your boobs, right? But if you're sitting on an implant, wasn't there like ever fear of it rupturing or?
Well, it doesn't, there's no liquid in it. That's why it's so hard.
Oh.
So it's like for that reason.
So it's literally hard.
It's literally hard.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why anyone would do it. It's horrible.
Okay.
It's horrible. Don't do it.
No. You're bringing awareness. This is huge.
Butt.
Yeah.
You don't want a hard butt.
So did it like not when you walked?
You can't even
did
sit.
It jiggle? You couldn't sit. What? Okay. No,
Okay.
This is good. No, I love
you
this.
You feel like you're sitting on rocks. It's just
So it was painful when you would sit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's horrible. I don't know why they'd even sell this.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So anyways, I ended up getting illegal butt injections, and I recommend don't do that.
So what's in the butt injections?
It's illegal for a reason, because it's very dangerous. And
is it filler?
They said this lady claimed it was silicone, but it was like done in a nail salon. It was so sketchy. I was so stupid. I knew this was a horrible idea, but I kept like, instead of listening to my gut feeling, I kept doing it.
And I'm sure you saw other women doing it, and
other women were doing it, and they had great results.
Safe,
I'm like, okay, this should be okay, right? No, a few months later, I ended up, one day I woke up, I couldn't get out of bed. I stood up, hit the ground. I had horrible fevers. I was just, I was literally dying. I had to call 911 because I couldn't stand up. I couldn't even see straight. The ambulance had to kick down my door, carry me out on a stretcher, bring me to the closest hospital, and they said my organs were shutting down.
Oh my gosh.
It turns out I had really bad staph infection that went to my hip bone from those butt injections. And they told me I would probably have to cut my leg off, or I might die from sepsis, because it was so extremely bad.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to rush me into surgery. I said no to the leg, because I was like, I think I'm going to take my risk on that, which is crazy, but I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
So it was either your life or your leg.
Yeah, and at the time, I had no one around me. No one was there with me, and I had to make that decision. I just couldn't. I could not make that decision. So they rushed me in for surgery. They removed my implant, and they tried to remove as much product as they could, which they had to take chunks of my butt out because it was in the fat tissue, because it was so liquidy.
Oh my gosh. And your tissue was probably forming over it. Oh my gosh.
It was so dangerous. It was so bad. Yeah. So, and I had to spend a month in the hospital.
Oh my
And luckily I survived. That's why my butt is covered in tattoos now, which I didn't want that. But I had to cover up all the scars.
Yeah.
And so, and those ladies are actually in jail for life now because 2 other girls died doing the same procedure. Just a year ago, they got sentenced for life.
A year ago?
A year ago.
How long they been doing this for?
A long time.
Oh my God, they're out here killing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't do any of that.
Don't do
it. It's not worth it.
It's not. Okay. Was it here in the U.S.?
In LA.
It was in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I was thinking you went to Mexico or something because that sounds sketch. Well, sounds sketchy in a nail salon, but you did it in L.A.
In LA. And
Can we say the place?
Well, they would do different locations, so it wasn't an actual. They're
freelancers.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Freelancers.
Jeez.
They would literally travel to other cities too.
And they probably did that so that there was no liability on like an actual. Wow.
They could never get found. But it's sad because girls are still doing this.
Yeah.
Girls are still like Miami. They're really big. LA. That's really big, and you can tell the girls that. Not only are they doing the BBLs, which is dangerous too. I've had two girlfriends die from BBLs, and
isn't BBLs
legal.
Fat transfer of your own fat though?
Yeah, but if it's injected wrong, it can get in the bloodstream and travel to your heart, and you have a stroke. And that happens a lot. It's the most dangerous surgery, and that's legal. So,
oh my gosh, hold on, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so. Just leave your butts alone. Like, it's not worth it. It's really not.
Yeah, the message today, you guys, leave your butts alone.
But body dysmorphia is a real thing for these girls. And that's what I had. I mean, Let's
unpack this because that was the cause of all of this. You literally almost dying, almost losing your leg or your life. And I can't believe you chose your leg over your life. Yeah. What was going through your head? I can't imagine trying to make that decision on literally your deathbed.
Yeah. I
was listening to your video that you released of you literally dying. Mm-hmm. I could not listen to the rest of it. No. I wanted to cry. I was like, I can't listen to this. And the fact that you're going through that alone. Mm-hmm. And this is so incredibly important because women are going through this every day. They need to hear this come from somebody because they think it's okay. No one talks about this. That's the crazy part.
No, it's a lot of shame. It's all very shameful. But really all of this started just not having enough self-love to begin with and, not listening to my gut. So of all the things I should listen to myself, I didn't. I kept making bad decisions.
So body dysmorphia, what is that? I think I've experienced a little bit of that. I think it was during a time when I used to compete for bikini competing.
Yeah.
And you get really, I got down to 10% body fat.
Yeah.
And I was very, very lean going on stage. But that's just going on stage. Afterwards, you're back to normal life, normal food, whatever. And I went through I think body dysmorphia because I was so incredibly depressed for at least 3 years after because I'm like, my body will never look like that again unless I'm going on stage. But the things I had to do to get my body to that point. But I don't think I've experienced critical body dysmorphia. So can we break that down? What goes through your mind when you struggle with that?
Well, I think it's definitely when your self-worth is low and your self-love is really low. Social media these days obviously doesn't help.
Of course.
Girls are always doing surgeries.
Yeah.
And
then you got Photoshop. Let's be real.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. It doesn't help when you're editing all your stuff and then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, you recognize your own self. I do that. I'm like, oh, but it's real. It's real. And it's really bad these days. Yeah. So, just working on your self-love and your self-worth, and you can kind of work on those things.
Yeah. So when was that moment where you realized I need to turn this around. And you figured out that was self-love.
Mm-hmm.
When was that moment for you? And how were you able to start pulling yourself out of that?
Yeah, that was a big well,
you were literally on your deathbed. So
Yeah.
that was probably like a moment for you. Like, I need to do something because you almost lost your life.
Yeah. Being in the hospital for a whole month, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I feeling like an idiot, first of all, but coming out of there, it was just like, I started appreciating life. I started appreciating just my own bed. Just
the little things.
I really started appreciating life and just everything about it. And that's when life changed. So I really needed that. It was, in a way, a blessing.
Holy cow. Okay. Cervix cancer. When did this come in?
2 years later.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So did you at least have a break for those 2 years?
2-year break, Well,
two-year break from life's traumas. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was life like during those 2 years?
Not bad. It was good.
Okay.
I was on a right path. I hang out with quality people. I was modeling, actually modeling. I was not doing anything toxic.
Yeah.
Life was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I went a little ahead of myself. So you obviously got out of there with your leg attached and all.
Yes.
So, and they removed pieces of your butt. Da, da, da. So at this point, your parents were in the hospital with you. And I remember that.
Yes.
And it actually brought you closer to your parents.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. They flew out as soon as they could. And they took turns spending the night with me in the hospital. And then the other one would take care of my dogs at home. And so it really got us close. They were mad at me.
Yeah, of course.
Like, what are you doing? My dad was lecturing me every day.
I'm sure.
How could you do this?
Oh.
But in a loving way. But so that was really nice to really get a strong bond with them. And now I talk with them every single day. Even though I live close to them, we talk every day on the phone. We see each other every day. So it's really special.
Do you live here?
I live in Colorado.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How often? I feel like you live out here.
I was living out here about a year and a half ago.
Oh.
So now I just come back and forth a lot.
Okay. Okay. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 2-year break. Thank goodness. You start seeing the light. You're surrounding yourself with good people. And then you get hit with cancer. What happened there?
That came out of nowhere. I was feeling really bad for about 6 months. No periods. I was just feeling nauseous every day. And I really thought I was pregnant, which is weird, in the beginning. And I just couldn't get a pregnancy test positive. And I kept going to the doctors and like, I'm pregnant. They're like, you give it a little longer, maybe not, or something. But it took 6 months for me to convince doctors to look at me seriously and saying like, I don't feel well, something's wrong. And then they finally did a pap smear. I remember I was hiking and they called me and they said, Jessica, we got your results. Can you please come in? I was like, why can't you just tell me on the phone? It's like,
that's annoying.
like, just tell me on the phone. Like, why would I have to come in for a pap smear result? And they're like, no, you need to come in for this.
Ugh, that's scary.
And so I rushed in, and the doctor was very casual about it. Like, you have stage 3 cervical cancer, and we need to get you in for surgery immediately. Blah, 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 blah. And just listed all this stuff. I was in complete shock.
You are what age at this point?
30.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you had a boyfriend at this time.
Yes.
And I'm sorry if I'm crossing boundaries. Is this the baby daddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How old is your baby now?
He's 2.
No.
Almost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Terrible twos.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're with him. Oh, is this that? Okay. So, okay. You find this out. My gosh. Then what?
Yeah. And I was a mess the first day, like completely in shock, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And then I think the worst part is calling my parents and telling them, because I'm like, I put them through enough.
They're probably like, now
like,
what?
Like, that's literally
Now
what they are. Like,
Oh.
what is going to happen next, Jessica? And so, you know, I had to call them and tell them that was the worst thing any parent could hear.
Of course.
But the very next morning after I found out, I woke up and I had this weird, like God spoke to me thing where I felt like, well, how can I turn this into a good? Because that's what I started thinking, like, I need to turn, you know, all the bad things into a good. How can I turn this into a good? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I had 2 million followers at the time. And I was like, let me just use my platform and tell people what's going on, and maybe they can learn from all this. Maybe I can teach women to go get checked sooner than later. So I made the announcement, and I just have been really honest since.
Yeah.
And I was very honest with the whole journey, taught everyone what I did. I ended up fighting it holistically because I just didn't feel good about chemo and radiation and all the surgeries I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I beat it. And it took a couple years, but
Wow.
and I wasn't supposed to ever have a child. And now I have an almost 2-year-old boy, and that was a miracle.
Wow.
So it worked out.
Yeah. So holistic. So you're doing all the natural things.
Yeah.
So, okay. And you feel like that was the reason why it reversed.
I did a small surgery that they removed part of my cervix.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't take all the cancer cells out because I told them I want to be a mom someday.
Oh.
So they did the bare minimal. But the doctors were not happy about it. They were like, you're playing with fire. They kept telling me that. You're playing with fire. They wanted to do a total hysterectomy of the uterus and cervix.
Yeah.
Just in case it would spread. And then they wanted to do radiation and chemo and everything. I was listening to my good gut feeling, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel that was right for me.
You just love playing with fire, don't you?
Yeah.
It was
You know.
Let's see what I can get into with myself today. No, it's like you're on your deathbed. You got to make a choice to lose your leg. You played with fire. Now that, oh my goodness, look at you.
Yeah, luckily.
You're a tough cookie for sure.
Yeah. I forget what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. That was funny.
Yeah. So okay. So you decided let me keep some of my cancer cells because you want to have a baby, which you did end up having one, and he's happy and healthy and beautiful. He's a miracle baby. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lord. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. And you reversed, and it took you a few years to get rid of the cancer. Now you're completely good.
Yeah, completely healthy.
Thank you, God.
And I spent years and hours every single day just studying about health.
Wow.
You know, learning about cancers and learning what to take, what to do, and it was a magical experience. And again, I started really appreciating life. You know, saying my sorries, because you have to face death in the face. Like, if this is going to take me out, I want to do it in my own terms.
Yeah.
So I had to acknowledge, like, this might be the wrong decision. But if I'm going to die, I want to do it this way. And you had to be okay with that. So, but in a way, it was a blessing. You know, I did have strong relationships. I fought for my life, but I wasn't scared of dying either. And so it all kind of played a part in it.
So you were on social media. You started sharing about your journey and experience with everybody, and you had 2 million followers at the time. Would you say that you started gaining, because you have like over 12 million or something, or probably more, I don't know. Do you think you started gaining that because of the sharing your journey?
I do think people like when you're vulnerable and honest, and I've always pretty much been that way.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of helped social media wise, just being yourself and just showing them, hey, my life is messed up too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just showing people you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
I know another part of your story is in order to pay for all the holistic healing and everything that you were doing for your cancer, you had to pay for it, right? So then you created your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And that's where you started kind of making the money.
Yeah.
So let's delve into that. So the reasoning behind it is insane. Did your following know why you were doing that? The OnlyFans?
I guess I never really talked about OnlyFans. I didn't necessarily promote it. It was just in the link in my bio, but I never actually like promoted it. But I guess I never really shared why I was doing it.
Oh, but that was the reason why you're doing it.
I mean, it definitely helped me because I could not work. You know, insurance didn't pay for anything holistic. That's you're on your own.
That's so messed up.
So I was spending a lot of money with my cancer journey trying to fight it. So, I mean, in a way, that was a blessing.
Yeah.
But I was ashamed about it. But also in my head, because I had such a crazy past doing stupid things for money, in my head, I was like, well, I'm safe at home. I'm not in danger. In my head, I thought it was okay. But I still didn't feel good about it.
Oh, it was more like online video.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving a voice to the other women out there that doesn't have one. And I'm sure they're in that world and they feel some sort of trap in that world, right? You don't have to share this, but what was like the most you made from OnlyFans at one time?
Like in a day or something, or
sure, let's do a day.
I mean, I don't think I never really made a lot of money with it.
Oh, okay.
I just did enough to get by.
Okay.
Because wasn't proud of it, and I don't like being on there. I really didn't do as great as some girls did. Some girls make a lot of money.
Well, I'm sure they're doing a lot more.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more, and but it is sad because girls do get addicted to it.
Because it's easy money.
It's easy money, but it's not. It's like physically it's easy, but mentally it's not.
Oh
like you have to deal with knowing what you're doing, and it's out there forever. So it's a horrible feeling. So now I've actually been helping a lot of girls get out of it, and it's really nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How so? Like, share that.
Yeah, I'm just telling, doing a different route for myself. A lot of women have reached out, said, I don't want to be on OnlyFans either. They're like, I feel so ashamed, and a lot of times these girls are in relationships and they're married even. And then the sad part is their husbands or partners aren't saying you deserve better. Why are you doing this?
Oh, they know that they're doing it.
They know it. And so that's the first thing to tackle. Who are you with right now?
Yeah.
And if your partner is allowing you to do that, then you shouldn't be with them because, you should be with someone that thinks you deserve better. You're more than that. And sometimes girls just need to hear that. So just telling these girls, like, you are so much better than that. You're smarter than this.
Yeah.
They just need to hear that, and then they can do so much more.
So that means most of these women just don't have that support system.
No. Most girls on OnlyFans, if they usually are in relationships, and they just don't have that.
They're just toxic relationships, but they don't have the real support that they need.
They're not getting. I know another girl I just helped out. Her husband just hasn't been giving her compliments ever.
And so she probably seeks it.
She was seeking that validation every day from fans, and now she realized, oh my God, I just have never been getting that from my own husband. So there's a lot of different things that
it's different for everybody.
Women to it.
I mean,
but it's sad.
Wow. Would you say it's more common now than it was when you first started?
Oh yeah, it's so common. Even people you'd think that aren't doing it are doing it.
No.
Yeah, like moms with 3 kids or something, you're like, wow, you would never know. It's so common. And men are doing it too now. And couples are doing it. And it's so bad. Yes. It's getting
worse.
I thought so hard.
For some reason I was thinking maybe it's dying down or something, because when it first came out, it was talked about a lot. It was talked about a lot. And then something, what happened with OnlyFans, where they weren't making as much on OnlyFans, or they were taking a percentage or something?
They take 20%.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was it always like that? Something happened with it was where you no longer could put nudes or something on OnlyFans.
Yeah, they tried that for a week, and then
it did.
it didn't work out.
They lost money.
They lost, and then they switched it real quick, because that's the whole platform now.
Oh, because it was supposed to be... OnlyFans originally was supposed to be
for creators.
For creators.
But it turned into something else.
That turned exclusive real quick, huh?
Yeah, so...
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really sad on how common it is these days, and I get it, but it's
almost like it's maybe a regular thing, because, okay, when did OnlyFans come out? Where are we? 2024. When did it come out? During the pandemic?
Sooner. I want to say like 2017 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, it blew up because everyone couldn't work and
7 years
needing money.
Okay.
And now it's bad because of inflation, and
yeah,
it's just
so 7 years, probably a solid 7 years. So now you have younger girls, well, I guess, and guys apparently, that are kind of born into this thinking it's normal.
Yeah.
So that's probably why it's also getting worse. And it's easy money. And the way that life is going right now, and to live these lifestyles and these extravagant trips that everybody wants to go on, because social media tells you every day that your life is not good enough. Look at what they're doing or or how they look, which takes money, obviously. Like that meme, you're not ugly, you're just broke. That's not funny.
She's not laughing.
Anyways, I have kind of a little bit of dark humor sometimes. So it makes sense that becomes, so yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I don't have a girl.
I know.
As a daughter.
And that's, I think, becoming a mom now.
Yeah.
That's my motivation to do better, because now I really worry about him. Yeah. About kids' futures and what they're seeing. And also, I see little girls on my Instagram page all the time.
Little, like
how 8-year-olds, and they have a whole Instagram. Yes. I
was thinking like maybe 14.
And I doubt their parents know they have Instagram. And I'm just like, they're watching. No. They really are watching. So we are the influence, and sadly I've done a bad job, and now I'm trying to clean it up, and it's just, and I hope everyone else can try to clean it up a little bit too, because it's just not good for younger generations.
Well, the more and more people come out and speak about this, and the truth behind everything will help. And you are starting that, because I have not heard anyone speak about this. Nobody. Yeah. The butt injections, the butt implants, which is very common.
The Kardashians started it, and they never speak about it.
No.
Yeah. No. Well,
and they reversed a lot of their injections too. So their butts are smaller now. Yeah. But a lot of girls can't do that because they got it illegally. And
wait, so the Kardashians, do they have? I hate speaking about the Kardashians butts, on my show,
but they're a lot smaller than they used to be.
But it's not implants. Do you?
I have no idea what they had.
Okay. Yeah. We don't know. Say. I hate to speak about the Kardashians on my show, but this has a huge...
It has an impact.
It does have an impact, because it didn't really start until them, when they came out with that certain body type, and then the lips and all the things, right? And that's when things started getting really... Oh my goodness. Okay. So...
like, where are we?
We just kind of went everywhere. Gosh.
So yeah, I've cleaned up my life now, and I'm making better decisions, and now I really listen to my body, and getting a lot more self-love. I've been doing inner child work, healing my childhood. I think that's a big reason why I've just also made a lot of bad decisions. I had work to do, a lot of healing to do.
Let's talk about healing your inner child. I love
it's
this.
so deep.
Oh, I love this. Let's unpack that a little bit. What does that mean?
So think about when you're a child, and how did you feel? Did you get enough from your parents emotionally? Like what were you lacking from your parents? Did you not feel loved enough? Did you feel like they're too hard on you? Did you feel like you had to always get the best grades in order to get their love or attention? There's so much with it. And then you go through that your whole adulthood seeking that in relationships of people that are not able to give that to you. So people that keep making bad decisions who you date, is because you're always seeking that validation from someone that cannot give it to you. So it's not until you really heal those child healing wounds, then you start making better decisions on people you fall in love with.
Right. So you have to start with, what is it that you needed as a child?
Yeah.
So people got to dig deep with this. This goes
Really
deep, you
deep.
guys. And it's tough. This is where people give up. And the reason being is because people are not willing to face those demons. They're not, because it's hard and it hurts. It does. And it's going to peel back layers that you didn't even know were there. And that's hard for a lot of people because it hurts. They don't want to keep going. They don't want to face that.
Yeah.
So first you start with, I want to give my listeners and viewers steps on how to do that. So you start with figuring out, what did you need as a child?
And what helped me is get a picture of yourself when you're a kid. And like stick it on your mirror or something.
Oh, that just touched me.
When you see a picture of yourself, just talk to that kid. Like she or he is in front of you. And the first time I did this, I literally like fell on the ground and cried because I just wanted to hug her. And I like kept saying, I'm so sorry I put you through all that. I'm so sorry. Like, I apologize so much to her because and you talk to that child like it's a child, like, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I love you. You are better. You're worth more. And talk to that kid. And if you start talking to yourself like that every day, that's why it helps when you put a picture somewhere. Then you're starting to heal. Yeah. And then you're starting to give yourself that love and affection that you needed as a kid. And then your self-love grows. And then you stop making bad decisions in who you date. And things just work out. So everyone needs to do that. It's really remarkable.
Okay. So you start with what we just said about figuring out what it is that you need or you needed as a child. And you start becoming that person, right?
You start telling your inner child that. So you tell yourself,
that you are worthy. You are deserving. You don't need to earn my love.
Yeah.
You're already worthy.
Yeah, you tell yourself that every day because you really are that child in an adult body. We are still kids. We never grew up. We're still kids, and we're still looking for that we never had.
Wow. Okay. Now, you figure that out and you start working through the healing process, which, by the way, you guys, guess what? Sorry, it doesn't happen overnight. It probably takes a full life journey. I don't like to say it's a fine line. I don't like to say so much that I'm still healing. It's more so of I'm healed, but I'm unlearning bad habits. But it took me 7 years to get to this point. It was a lot of unlearning everything I've ever known and then reprogramming my mind. And when you're in that isolation phase, right? I'm sure you've gone through, or are you still in this isolation phase? But you know what I'm talking about, right?
But I'm still going through the journey. For sure.
So you do go through this isolation phase, especially when you're surrounded by nothing but toxicity. You don't have that type of support. Yes. And that's another phase that people give up in. They don't want to be isolated. People always, it's like people that have been in relationship after relationship after relationship because they don't know who they are without one.
Yeah.
Right?
They use it as distraction from being alone and facing all of that stuff they need to face.
Right.
People don't face it.
No. I call it the cocoon phase, the isolation phase, where it's about being alone and figuring out who you are. Who is Jessica? Who is Kayla? Right?
Yes.
And who knows how long that would take. So when you go through that healing process, what are other steps that you would give advice to the audience?
Kind of what you just said, but really looking at who you're surrounding yourself with. Who are you dating? Because you cannot heal if you're in a toxic environment. You just can't.
Right.
No matter how hard you try. Look at your friends.
Right. Also your friends.
All of that. You need
even family members. What are your thoughts on blood?
I don't believe just because they're family, they should be in your life. If they're toxic and they're not changing, they gotta go. Yep. I don't care.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So getting rid of the toxicity, and what would you say would be something for someone that's going through the isolation phase, the cocoon phase, to hold on to that strength and to keep going? Because even that road is rough. It's hard. And you might not have anyone to pick up the phone and call or tell them you're having a bad day or you're going through this struggle, because most people struggle on their own by themselves. They go through wars and battles that nobody even knows about.
Yeah.
What advice would you give that person?
I mean, I'm sure everyone has at least one person they can call. Just one. You know, and if you have the money to afford a therapist, try it, you know.
I love that you bring that up, because forever I was someone that was like, I don't need therapy. Therapy is for crazy people. And I got that from family members. Oh, you need to see a therapist. You need to see this and that, because I grew up with a lot of trauma. I had a lot of mind health issues. Thank you. Jeez. Hello, brain fart. And because everything that I've gone through, you know, but we've all gone through something. So, but when they would say that, I'm just like, I don't need therapy. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm just hurt. And I have abandonment issues and all the things. But then I realized, and this was not that long ago. I mean, it was right before 2020. I was like, because again, from what I was saying, your mind forgets, but your body remembers. I would still get triggered, and like I would start crying for no reason. Something would come. I would be. I didn't even know what the word trigger was. I was very uneducated in that, and I'm just like, why is my body reacting this way? Yeah. So then I went to EMDR therapy. Do you know what that is? Yeah. Okay. Did you do that?
I haven't, but I know it's amazing.
Okay. What trauma? I'm just curious. What traumatic therapy did you go to?
She would teach breathing. She was actually a trauma therapist, but it's really like, again, going back to your childhood.
So it was talk therapy.
Yeah, talk
therapy.
And
it was breathing techniques.
I've done the rapid eye movement one.
That's the EMDR.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, eye movement, motion, something. I
was not a big fan with it, but I think it helps reprogram the brain, supposedly.
So I don't know the science behind it, but there's different techniques with EMDR.
Okay.
I actually do have another episode about that. If you guys go back in I think if you type in EMDR, you guys, you can find that in another episode I've done where I break that down. I recorded that years ago, so I don't remember what I said. But it was like tapping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or like clickers. She gave me clickers.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was crazy. It did help. Yeah. It was like click. Yeah. But it was, I don't remember how to explain it, but you guys look into it, and I'll also put links to where you can get the help and how that can help you. Do not be ashamed to get therapy, to get help. Do not be ashamed. now today, with everything that I know
Everyone
now, all
needs
the
it.
wisdom, now I'm a life coach, all the things. The best people in the world that I know, my mentors have mentors. My mentors get therapy, and it's okay. It's healthy. It keeps you going and stay sane, because we live in a very sinful world.
Yeah.
And we have every reason to get triggered and break. And you don't want to do the healing and then go through something where you're constantly being triggered to take you back to who you used to be. You have to keep the healing going.
Yes, exactly. Totally agree.
So, oh my goodness. So what now? Like, what are you doing now? Because you went through all of that. Now you're speaking on stages. Now you're coaching.
Thank you.
So tell me, let's get into that. So tell me about that.
So now I'm at the point where it's like, well, I've been through all this craziness, and I need to do something with it, or else it was pointless.
Mm-hmm.
So why not turn it into a positive and teach people, be vulnerable, tell them my mistakes, and, help others get through it, because it's all actually very relatable in a lot of ways, and people just don't talk about it because it's shameful topics. So now I'm just turning it all into a positive and just sharing.
So I can only imagine, because you were building, I guess you can say you're kind of building a career, right, on OnlyFans, and because you went from 2 million to 12 million. So the majority of reviewers, I'm sure, are men. This new transition, which only came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
How has that been like, with the transition from who you were to who you really are now? Because this is Jessica.
Yeah.
That was Jessica trying to survive. This is who she is. And it's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I want to make that very clear.
Thank you.
Okay. What was that transition like, and how do you deal with people that are probably men that are coming after you?
Yeah. It was not pretty when I first started. I made the announcement that I'm going to change my page. And, man, I lost 200,000 followers within a week. 200,000.
Well, good riddance, because those aren't your people anyways.
And they were mean.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm unfollowing you then. And just I had emails trying to tell me to off myself. I don't want to say the words, but awful emails. I had to block. I think every day I was blocking 50 people.
What?
Because they were so mad at me.
How dare you make your life better?
Yes. So the toxic people will be mad for you doing good. And they will come after you.
Wow.
So I am teaching girls, like, it's normal. Don't worry. But it's slowing down, but I will get some comments every day. But it's fine. I don't care, because all of those guys are just perverted, nasty men with one tooth living in Oklahoma. Like, I don't care. Like,
living in the mama's basement.
Like, I don't care. Bye. Like, I just don't care. So it's like the quality people, the good quality people stayed, and the bad quality left. But now it's bringing in new connections. I'm meeting more quality people, and it's fine, but I feel good about it. That's the good thing, is I'm not posting in lingerie and bikinis all the time now, and it feels nice. I actually threw this whole bucket of nasty lingerie away because I was saving it for photo shoots. I was like, I threw it all away, and it felt so good. Like, I feel free. So it's peaceful now, and I can finally feel proud of myself, and that's what I've been looking for my whole life. Just being proud of myself, and now I finally am proud of myself. So it's good.
Yes, I love that so much. I can't believe that they would send you nasty emails.
Right?
Like,
they were so mad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Off subject a little bit. I love your tattoos.
Thank you.
And even though we just recently met, I remember seeing your tattoos somewhere. I love tattoos. I'm actually getting all this removed.
Ooh, ouch.
I know. It hurts. It's worse
like
than getting, you got tattoo removal?
I did my eyebrows removed, and that freaking hurts.
Oh my, on your face? Oh no. Well, I'm getting morphia. So that is like needles in the skin. So I don't know how bad that is. Okay. So, anyways, long story. I'm not going to get into me, but explain to us a little bit about these tattoos and what their meaning is.
Well, I kind of kept adding pieces. Actually started getting tattoos right after my divorce from my abusive ex-husband. He was tatted head to toe, but he said, you're not allowed to have tattoos because he was controlling.
Okay.
So as soon as we divorced, I said, I'm getting
Watch
a
me.
damn sleeve. So I did.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And you know, I don't regret it. But I kept adding little pieces. Owls are amazing. And I got a gun.
What's the meaning of owls? A gun?
I own that gun.
Oh.
Owls are, I love owls because they actually, they stay in a pair, like a love, like they find their partner for life.
Aww.
And I think that's just so magical because most animals don't.
Penguins do the same, right?
I think so,
Yeah,
right?
they give them like a little pebble. I could totally be wrong on this, but I read something. They do. They give a little pebble, and it's like, oh, and then if they lose their pair or their significant other, I don't know what you call that, they get very depressed and they die. So that's beautiful. Okay, go on. And then so you own what is that, a rifle? Or a roller?
Magnum.
I don't know. I clearly don't know anything about this. Wait, what's a rifle? What's the thing that
This is a
spins?
Magnum. This is like the old.
Don't give me a gun, guys.
This is like the old cowboy guns.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
But,
cute.
Yeah,
Love.
I don't know. She ran away in her dreams and dreamt of paradise and just like little things.
wow.
Don't ever let go.
Wait, are these words? I don't see words.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
It's hard to
oh,
see,
yeah. Well, it blends in so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kept adding. And then just more. Is that like the mandala style? Like on your hand and then up here?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. I asked because I got this. This is a lion, like the
yeah.
mandala style lion. And the lion's wearing a crown. My
I
last
like it.
name is Cardona.
Yeah.
So, and it's from the city of Cardona, and I have a little bit of royal blood.
There you go.
This represents my family. So anyway, so I noticed the
Yeah.
I guess patterns. The
Yeah,
patterns is very similar. So anyways,
yeah.
So okay.
But
Fun.
yeah,
and then you have
I love
your
art. And
Yeah.
so I tattoos are awesome if they can mean something. And, you know.
Do you regret it at all with your modeling career?
No, I think at the time I debated on that because I was starting to model, but I was like a short girl. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to go on runway. And I figured, well.
Wait, how tall are you?
5'1".
5'1". Yeah, I know, because we took a photo the other day and I was like, wait, she's tinier than me. You little itty bitty thing.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
Like it's so. But
Yeah.
anyway, tattoos kind of made me unique along the way, so it's okay.
Do you have any more? Well, besides your butt, we don't have to go there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to show it, get more views. Just kidding. So you have your butt, whatever.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with my stomach. I was
Oh.
so young because I had my son when I was 18. And I had
Yeah.
these stretch marks. And of course,
Yeah. A lot of
you
girls
guys,
cover it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
self-love, you guys. I was very insecure. And so I thought, oh, I'll just get tattoos to cover my stretch marks. You guys, it doesn't actually cover your stretch marks or scars.
No.
It just adds more chaos and mess to the madness.
A lot of girls do that.
And it brings, and it brings more attention. And now you'll never see me show my stomach because unless I get it removed, which is going to be
that's gonna be hurt.
so
bad.
painful because it goes pretty low. It goes really low. And that was the hardest part, right above the, you know, and it was really painful. And I couldn't even finish it. So there's like a little like skin color tone. Sorry, TMI, you guys. You guys will never see it. You guys will never see it. Only my husband, my future husband. I can't imagine getting that part removed. Oh my gosh. So I'm hoping if God is going to bless me with another child, I will be getting a child and probably surgery. Try to cut it off, or I don't know. That's TMI, you guys. Sorry. But we do get tattoos to try to cover up scars and marks.
Yeah,
now,
so ladies, just embrace the stretch marks.
Just
You
embrace
have a child,
it.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
Now I'm in my 30s. Gosh, I love age, because age, you stop caring about the dumb things that just
Yeah.
don't matter.
Yeah.
And you don't mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 37.
Okay.
Or 36. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my gosh.
In my head, I was 37. 36.
It's okay. I thought I was older too.
After a while, you just forget.
You stop counting.
you
Yep.
forget.
Same. I'm 35. So when you go, I love the 30s and I can't even imagine how 40s is going to be. Probably so much better. You stop caring. I would love to show off my stretch marks. Please.
Do
it. I literally, well, not now because I have the fat tattoo that was so ugly, and eventually I'll get rid of it. But it shows you and literally carrying a child. And that's a miracle.
Yeah.
For us to have the ability to carry a child. I mean, I always say this is the closest thing to God, because we literally have a portal in between our legs. It's magical, right?
Yeah,
so
is.
embrace it. You have stretch marks. Those are your battle scars, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if I could go back and tell the old Kayla, embrace them. Don't try to cover it up. For what?
And I noticed, even being pregnant, how quickly women, I was the same way, or like, I got to get my body back. How do you get your body back? How do you lose the weight? Women are so quick to just, that's all they think about once they have their baby. And it's really getting bad these days. So
yeah, but because we're under a lot of pressure
so much pressure
with society, with men. You guys do better. Men listening to this, watching this, do better.
Or I see men all the time like, oh, my wife gained so much weight after the kids, and I'm not attracted to my wife no more. She's gained weight after our 3 kids. It's like,
wow.
And there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So sad.
But that's also not really coming from a secure, healthy, masculine man. Because no secure, healthy, masculine man will say things like that.
That's a topic right there.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how much time do we got?
Another hour?
How much time do we really have? 20 minutes?
Oh, that's a lot.
Can we go there?
Yeah, let's go there. 'Cause
let's go there.
There's not a lot of masculine men these days, and it's getting out of
what
control.
is going
and then
on?
the women are in their masculine, and we
Yep.
bitch and we complain
Yep.
because we're the man.
Yep.
And
Yeah. I don't know anything about Colorado. Is there masculine men in Colorado?
I haven't seen any.
Oh. So it's not just a California thing?
It's I don't know. So my goal is to raise my son right, so he can learn how to be in his masculine and be a good leader for his family and be a good partner.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Maybe our parents, there wasn't a lot of that stuff back then, so maybe they just forgot to teach those things to men growing up.
Yeah. Well, I think a part of it too, and I got this from some of my mentors, and I would ask them this. I said, what happened? Why was masculine energy, where was it taken? Like, why is our men so soft? And one of them said something very profound. It was because we haven't really truly gone through hard times recently. So when you think about it, our grandpa, great grandpas, they had to go through war. I mean, they used to pick out the sons from the family. Okay, we're going to war. If you're 14, 15, you got to step up and go to war, right? So if you really think about it, we haven't really had hard times, especially here, right?
Yeah.
We haven't really gone through war. We've gone through a couple of recessions, being millennials. We've gone through a couple of recessions maybe.
Yeah.
But we haven't really gone through anything harsh. Then you have the feminism, which I hate that word now because they completely ruined that word.
I know.
Feminism. It's like this movement where we don't need men. We can adopt a child without a man. And women are forced to be in their masculine energy because the men aren't stepping up.
Yeah. I was one of those girls for a bit.
Oh, same. Oh yeah,
know?
there was a time in my
we're
life.
Equal.
Yeah.
Treat us equal. I don't want to be equal.
No, it is not 50-50, you guys.
And even if a lot of relationships these days, men expect 50-50, but the women end up doing way more. And then it's just.
But because the women are doing way more, they're emasculating men. So men are like, wait, what am I good for? So it's an issue on both sides.
It is.
It really, really is. Women need to learn how to be in their feminine again. You could still get things done and be able to be in your feminine. Now, being in your masculine, you got to make decisions. You got to be hard. You got to be firm, especially if you have employees, things like that, right? But to be able to learn how to turn it on and off. Now, when you come home to your man or, husband, or you're out dating, you have to learn how to turn that off and be into your feminine so that you could attract the right masculine men, right? Yeah. I just started learning about this.
I know, it's a new
not
thing.
that long ago. Yeah, because I didn't understand what that was or why I was attracting very feminine men. Men that were relying on me. You're laughing because it's true. It's true. I was like, why? Why am I attracting these freaking guys with mama issues? Like, what in the world? And then you end up taking care of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I already have a man that I'm raising. I don't need another one.
Exactly. There's a lot of that. They're looking for moms.
Oh, God.
They are. So, why?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's a whole different episode. That's a whole different episode. So women, you have to learn how to be more in your feminine. Men, y'all need to step it up, man. Like, especially like I thought about how would I be able to do that? Because I mean, I'm a realtor, I'm a single mom, which we're fathers. That comes into play. We have to be both. That's a fact. Yeah. So we're already in our masculine at that point because we gotta lay down the rules. We gotta discipline all the things, right? So I'm a realtor. I'm a mom. I'm a podcast host. I'm a TV show person.
You're the man.
I wear a lot of hats, right? And
I think it takes a man that comes in and makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
Enough where you can follow him with your eyes closed.
Boom.
And that's it. But when he starts making you feel unsafe, if he's bad with communicating, if he's bad with his money, if he's lazy, or if he doesn't even pick up after himself, you start feeling unsafe that you have to start stepping it up because he's not man enough. That's when it turns. So he's got to make you feel safe in all those categories so you can just be soft.
Right.
Let you lead.
Literally where you can just turn your brain off and just be, just in your womanhood. Like, just I don't want to make any decisions. I just want to be a woman.
Yes.
And he can lead you and blindly, just like you said, lead you blindly, and you're happy where you end up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's okay for women to be masculine when it comes to business. But when you get home, you need to have that man's got to make you feel safe that you can just turn it all off and just be a woman when you're home with him. But a lot of times men cannot do that these days.
So why do you think that is?
I think there just wasn't enough self-development for our parents. Older generations.
You think it has to do with... But our parents were traditional. Our parents were more traditional, aren't they? Like, where did it get lost? What happened?
Yeah. I think it's a combination of,
Maybe. I don't know. That's, I would like to dig into that.
I think maybe because there isn't, traditional's kind of out the window now. Society wants women to do 50-50 with everything. And men's gotten used to that.
I think a lot has to do with them pushing. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so. What's that word?
Men and women are like 50-50 bills nowadays and 50-50 everything, but the women are still needing to be the moms, the house, take care of the house, cook. There's so many more roles women still have to play.
Yeah.
And then that builds resentment and that builds independence, and they don't need a man no more. So
okay. I've been struggling with this for quite some time. I just want to get your opinion on this. I struggle with doing all these women empowerment events.
Yeah.
I love my women. Don't get me wrong. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm all about women empowerment. Absolutely. We're very powerful. But you don't hear men of impact. You don't hear dadpreneur. You don't hear boss. Well, I guess you hear boss man, but you know what I mean. It's not used. That term isn't used like, oh, boss babe. Right? It's like, I still struggle with this because I want to support women as a strong woman. But at the same time, when I go to these events, now I hope me saying this won't have people like, we're going to take Kayla off the roster. But I think it's something that people don't talk about, but they're thinking it.
Yeah.
It's like, so when we do all these women events, you don't hear about men events, right? Men empowerment. You don't hear that.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we still trying to prove a point here?
Yeah.
You know, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not helping the situation.
No.
So it's like, what do you think about that? Because
why do we need that?
Yeah.
But men don't.
Why do we have to constantly feel like we have to prove a point, but we need empowerment? We don't need empowerment.
No, we should host an event teaching women how to be soft.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Soft empowerment.
Yeah. I love that.
Let's do it.
You know, Bedros Killian. He has a boot camp to make men again.
Yeah.
We should make something to make women again.
Yeah.
Let's sign a petition. Wait, we don't need to do that. We can just do it.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, maybe we can create something. I don't know.
But also it has to do with the men too.
It's
hard to be soft if your man's soft too.
Oh my gosh.
You're both the women.
I know. We'd be braiding each other's hair, doing each other's nails.
I mean, that'd be fun. It's better than what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, but also maybe teaching women on how to spot an actual leader. Because there are guys, there are some that are doing right.
Absolutely.
So maybe just teaching women how to be a girl again and how to actually spot that type of guy that is going to be able to be in his masculine.
But also know how to allow your man to be in his masculine.
Yeah.
It's a good balance of both. So if you're a masculine, healthy, stable man listening or watching this, please reach out because I would love to have that conversation and figure this out because it's just such a fine line right now. And it's so hard. We need action from both sides. We know that as a fact.
Yes.
But what does that mean? What does that look like? And how can we get there again?
Yes.
There it is. Well, I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon. Okay. I love this conversation. Wow. This was really, really good. So I do have to wrap it up, unfortunately. First of all, what's next for you?
Keep going on this route.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes, but
more stages. Yeah. More speaking engagements.
More speaking, more helping, and see where it goes.
Yeah. I would think about maybe writing a book.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah, and then you got your coaching. So you're doing group coaching right now. Do you plan to do one-on-one? Yeah,
I plan on doing a lot more of that stuff. I just don't know how to do the back end of it, so I got to figure that out.
Yeah, well, I can help you.
Yeah.
We can connect and talk about it.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to have lunch soon. We can chat more about that.
For sure.
I would love to help. I mean, I think what you have is incredibly rare. And God is working through you right now.
Oh,
and
thank you.
he's oh my gosh, you went through the mud, but there's a reason for that.
There is,
And,
definitely.
and you came out alive, thank God, and stronger than you've ever been. Because I'm sure, regardless of everything and all the bad decisions you've made, look who's it created.
Definitely makes you strong.
So much stronger.
Yes.
And now you are in a situation and have the ability, wisdom, and bravery to be able to now help women across the world.
Yes.
So I have one last question to ask that I ask all my guests. In your definition, what does pain to power mean to you?
Really learning how to turn any negative into a positive, no matter how bad it is.
Yeah. That was supposed to be my last question, but I have one more for you. Because you beam such positivity. You have such a light about you.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. How do you keep that positivity, regardless of, even when you're on your deathbed? How did you keep that?
Basically that last answer is just how can I turn this into a good, no matter what, you have to always think that way.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're just not going to get through it. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah. So just adapting, just being grateful for what you have and just knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there always is.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it seems, there will be.
Yeah.
So
That's beautiful. So where can everyone connect with you?
you can just go to Jessie Cakes 33 on Instagram and everything's listed there.
Wait, one more question.
Yeah.
Where does cakes come from?
I have no idea.
Was I like, I was thinking like maybe booty cakes.
I know. The worst thing is I made that just random.
Okay.
Like it was like 2014 when Instagram came out, and cakes wasn't like a bad thing back then, but then over the years they unwrap videos or something, they made it a bad thing. And then I'm like, that's not what I just really like vegan cake. And I like frosting. So it has nothing to do with that. But it turned, I don't know. Yeah, that's what people think.
You oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Like it just, you had such an innocent mind for so long. Then it's just, anyways, that's what I was thinking, because that's
yeah. Nope, not that.
Okay, now we clear that up, guys, because that was like the mystery question.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I
where
just
does cakes come
I like
from?
cake.
She just likes cakes, guys. I love that. Well, you heard it here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this episode has helped you, or if you think it's going to help someone else, please share it. And I look forward to the next one. See you soon.